focus more on the cyst of business that is on a steady increase on the daily. A cyst, of course, is a boil. Thank you for the grammar, Rainmaker. It says, let me take on one of them as a case study. The company I work for pays police, OPC, and sometimes Mopol to secure our outlets every month. This runs into the tens of millions of naira. Cost of business is a valid argument. At the end of the day, the government will now use one number as a campaign to say millions of people have registered for their business. Rotus, when will the SEC suspend Diamond and Access Bank stock? They're not going to do it yet, Rainmaker, because the shareholders still have to come to an agreement. Steven said, morning Rotus, this your business registration thing is not as quoted. You'll spend more than a month frustrated during the period registering your company. When it was 10,000, I registered for 25,000. You know how the driver's license official quote is and how much you eventually pay when you need it. And then Mo was asking me why I didn't let Shegun catch his breath. But yesterday, Mo, we're running out of time, so that's what happened. Bunmi, welcome. Good to have you in here again. So again, please send in your messages. We don't read them on the show. We'll complete them the next day. The money market report. Has there been any activity, I guess, with the holidays and everything?
Okay, well, traditionally, towards the end of the year, we usually see a lot of inflows from OMO maturities. This 2018 wasn't any different. We had on an average 4 to 500 billion maturing almost every week. Apart from maturities coming from the OMO, we also saw outstanding payments being made by the federal government in terms of salaries, money owed to contractors, Paris Club deduction. So there was a lot of liquidity coming into the system, and CBN being proactive that like they usually are, try to mop up very aggressively almost every week. We saw in some weeks almost auctions almost every day, you know, while maintaining marginal rates at 15%, which is not usual considering the quantity of liquidity that they were trying to mop up. You know, the because as a consequence of this aggressive tightening position of the CBN, OBB and overnight rates ranged between 16 and 25 consistently over, I think, the last 2 weeks. You know, the securities market didn't go unscarred. We saw a bearish trend trickle into the securities market as a result of the tightening stance of the CBN. Yields, especially at the short and the intermediate tenor of the yield curve, tended upwards because most banks were swapping their short-dated instruments for cash because CBN has been aggressively mopping up. Most traders do not even want to take a long position on bills now because they're uncertain about what CBN is trying to do, considering that they believe interest rates should be higher than 15%. So except there's a change in the direction of policy, maybe at the MPC holding this month, I think 21st or 22nd, or CBN changes the marginal rate, I expect that the bearish trend will continue in the securities market. There's the usual monthly savings bond.
Yes, the savings bond
auction. It opened on Monday. It ends on Friday, while settlement, as in payment for the bonds, happens latest by Wednesday. They have a 2-year and 3-year instrument on offer with coupon rates at 12.125 for the 2-year and 13.125 for the 3-year.
Yeah, that's your memory is something else. Very, very impressive. Okay, so thank you for that. I suspect people are going to be let's see, are going to be focused on fixed income with where equities are and with where the stock market is. I think more people are going to be moving in there. Okay, Lagos, as promised, I did say we're going to talk about this airline that was being floated by Akwa Ibom. Bunmi and I think we have differing opinions on this particular matter. So Akwa Ibom has launched its airline. I think it's Ibom Air. Yes, they say they're engaging 400 indigenes that are going to be working as personnel for this particular airline. So let me let you go first. What do you think of the of this particular
you know, the truth is that when I read the story initially, I thought it was a feel-good story until I listened to your show on yesterday afternoon, and I saw your concerns regarding the airline. Yeah, some of your issues.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some of your issues regarding the airline included the Akwa Ibom's ability to afford or sustain an aircraft.
Exactly.
About 3.
Right.
You know, but the truth is that it does beat not doing anything at all. You know, over the course of the year and over the course of the show, we've always talked about states increasing their IGRs, finding ways of sustaining themselves other than depending on the monthly federal allocations.
Right.
So for me, this is Akwa Ibom's way of doing something other than depend on oil or allocations from the states,
Right.
from the
Okay.
federal government. I think they also have a deep sea port coming along. So this is good. We I don't know how successful they will be. I don't know any other state that has actually tried to buy an aircraft and
Right.
maintain it.
Right.
But according to your report, the news, the story, they have the traffic. They have traffic coming to Akwa Ibom from Lagos and Abuja. So it makes sense commercially to have um, air airplanes that will fly those routes consistently.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
okay, but oh, you know what? Let me, Kayode, please. There's a message from, I think it's Eniton about China. I'm going to address the
Okay,
airline
okay.
quickly. I forgot this message from yesterday. Okay, so I think Eniton asked Rotus why the slowdown in iPhone purchases from China. I'm so sorry. That was part of the message I was supposed to address. Okay, real quick. The Chinese economy is slowing down. People are not upgrading their iPhones as they used to before because it's much more expensive. The dollar strengthening has also affected iPhone purchases. So people are holding on to their older iPhones and not buying the new one. A new iPhone now is almost 400,000. So that, to address that question as well. Sorry that I missed that. Okay, Bunmi, the airlines. The history in Nigeria with managing airlines when it comes to the states, it has not been a good story. We know Nigerian Airways, they've now gotten Richard Branson with Virgin. I think Jimo Ibrahim tried to buy out Virgin after Miss Richard Branson left and he dumped it as well. Thank you for mentioning the fact that the Nigerian government is paying outstanding salaries and pensions. Nigerian Airways was one of those companies that the federal government was paying off at the end of the year as far as the outstanding pensions. It has never worked. And I don't know. I should be more optimistic about this, seeing as you said, the states are doing something. But one of the reasons they said they were going in here is they said that there's lots of traffic between that Uyo, Lagos, Abuja, this thing. So if there's so much traffic, why is the state jumping in? Why not allow invite more airlines to come and fly that route instead of you trying to hop in there and compete with them? I don't know. It just gives me a bad vibe. I don't know. Manny, what do you think? I mean,
I think it's at least good that they start.
Okay.
I don't know many investors that will be willing to go to Akwa Ibom without being certain that they will be able to recoup their funds. So I think it's good that the state at least starts, even if it's in conjunction with the private sector eventually.
Okay.
Some of these things that we want the private sector to invest in are capital intensive.
It's expensive.
It's expensive,
Yeah.
So it makes sense for the state to at least start. And the fact that we haven't had success before doesn't mean
We shouldn't keep trying.
Keep trying. Akwa Ibom might be this exception to the rule. So.
Okay, we'll see. Kayode, we have a message here.
This one here says, morning guys, waiting from WSTC. I'm really interested to find out your opinion on why we see 1-year T-bill discount rate at 15%, yet the government offers 2 over 3-year savings bond at
12 to 13.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be seeing a higher interest for the longer tenor investment? I think you already addressed that now, right? As far as the shorter tenors versus longer for the securities.
Well, the truth is that this savings bond is actually targeted at
Retail. Okay.
You understand? Your savings account with banks would never give you
12 to 13, right.
12 to 13%. So this is targeted at small retail investors that cannot buy at the
T-bill
market, because the truth is that for the T-bill market to actually go there, not even T-bill market, to go to the primary auction, you need 50 million and above.
Right.
So except you have that quantum of money, you can't actually invest directly, except if you're going to the bank and they're selling off their position to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, the minimum to buy the savings one is 5,000 naira.
5,000.
So there you go. Thank you for that, Bunmi.
Lawson says it doesn't make sense commercially for Akwa Ibom to own an airline. The margins are ridiculous, and for obvious reasons, loss-making in Nigeria. It should be privately run. The state government
thing is just for show.
Just for show. It's not attractive enough for investors. Then the state government's getting into it won't make any more money more attractive.
Lawson, we'll see. We'll just have to see how it goes, right?
Yeah.
They just launched it, and
I'm being optimistic.
Exactly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yinka. Yeah.
Yinka says, now considering the Nigerian history with aviation, we are in 3rd or 4th generation of airlines. Have there been a study on how and why the 1st and 2nd generations crumble? Last time I checked, look at Imo Air, what's left of it. For the 18th time, government has no business being in business. left to me, it's just some excess money stashed somewhere that they want to burn.
Yinka, again, we'll see how it goes. Bunmi, oil. We've been tracking oil again. $60 per barrel is our benchmark for our budgets. I've been making it a point to keep looking. The latest news now is that oil prices, they ticked up because it looks like I guess the U.S. and China.
Yeah, having talks.
Want to settle their issues. Are you optimistic? You think they're going to? You think anything is going to come out of it?
Even if they settle the issues, it doesn't change some of the rudiments as to why the price of oil has fallen. You know, shale oil is still very much out there. You know, and except China increases production demand, we might not necessarily see an uptick in the price of oil. In fact, was it I can't remember the name of the
Qatar
bank.
that left us.
No, the bank that reduced their prediction.
Okay, yes, I think it was either Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. Yes.
They had previously predicted an average of $70 per barrel, but they revised that to $62 per barrel over the course of 2019, which I think is a little bit more realistic. So the question is, what are we going to do? Considering that our benchmark is $60 per barrel,
right?
You know, and a lot of our budget is hinging on crude, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to be a little bit more pragmatic about how we're going to fund this 2019 budget.
Okay, and then this is concerning. There was militant activity in Bayelsa. Another group apparently they blew up a corn oil facility in Bayelsa. What was the gist here? I think they called themselves the Koluama Seven Brothers. You see, new ones keep popping up, but I don't know. They're saying there's some indigenous issues going on there, right?
Yes, and it's so unfortunate because Nigeria doesn't need this. Apart from the fact that we've being part of the OPEC, we will have to cut our own production level. It doesn't help matters that within Nigeria in itself we might have issues with production because of militant attacks, which I thought was over since 2018.
Exactly.
So seeing this again is disheartening a bit. I hope they can find a resolution, you know, considering what's at stake.
Well, and the thing is, they I don't know. It looks like based on they sent an email. These guys are getting all techie. But yeah, they sent an email as a warning saying that they are supposed to. This has to do with the settlements that the previous militants got, where they were giving them money, sending them overseas for training. So, will this method ever end? Because it just seems like more will keep popping up saying, okay, us to give us our own share to. I don't know.
The truth is that it will continue until they begin to look more closely at the Niger Delta, develop it, create the infrastructures that make that area viable for people that live there.
Right.
You know, that's
if not, the handouts will continue. Okay. Well, that Kayode, we're right on time.
We're out of time.
That ought to do it. Okay. Thank you so much, Bunmi, for coming in today, and thanks to everybody that sent their messages as well. We'll be keenly watching this Akwa Ibom airline and see where it goes.
All right, guys, stay close.
I'm so sorry for the gymnastics. Apparently.